Welcome to Frisky Friday. Do you see what I'm doing? I have no makeup on. I'm putting on a little lip gloss. Have you ever known that men and women receive cues for when it's time for sexy time? It's so phenomenal. Just a simple act of putting on some lip gloss could tell your partner, hey, right? Especially if you have kids. You have to be creative. You have to be super creative. Hello, y'all. My name is Connie. Sorry, my eye. There we go. My name is Connie, and I am a naturopathy practitioner. I love what I do. I think outside the box. I have helped many women for 27 plus years as a holistic wellness professional who has guided many women to their gift of sexiness. And here's the thing. I'm a certified intimacy coach. My shirt says sexual health is not a dirty word. I fell in love with this shirt when I very first saw it. I knew I had to have it. And of course they were out of stock. But thank goodness they came back into stock and I got that shirt. Let's zhuzh up our hair a little bit. Now, as a holistic women's wellness naturopathy practitioner, that is my title. I have been told by, I'm going to give you two different examples. One woman said I saved her life, and another couple said I saved their marriage. Why did one woman say that I saved her life? When she was super depressed, when she was super down, when she was just not feeling like she could just keep on going. We had a discussion about self-love. We had a discussion about what that looks like. And then with the couple that they said I saved their marriage. There's discussions that I have with couples, especially as a certified intimacy coach. And we had a discussion about what happens when a woman's estrogen is too high. We had a conversation about how that can cause some dryness in the lower region, okay? And that could tell your partner that you're not satisfying them like you used to when you all were younger. But here's the thing. Men think that they want to make you happy and satisfied and all the things, and that's great. And women, they want to make their partner feel like they are just saving the day and they are rescuing them and they are just really providing. Now, this couple, that message was not sent to them during that time. So, y'all, welcome to Frisky Friday. So, we are going to be diving into the discussion about low libido after 40. We are going to keep on going and let's move along. Today's title is called Confidence, Connection, and Hormones. Understanding your body and reclaiming your desire naturally. Hello, ladies, and I want to tell you happy Friday. We have real conversations about women's health. We have conversations about hormones, intimacy, in a way that's honestly safe and it's judgment-free. If you joined me last week, we talked about low libido after 40, what's normal and what's not. Okay, today we're going to dive a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about what's really behind that feeling of disconnection, okay, from your body, your confidence, or your partner. There are times when I've heard women say, I would rather have, this is what we talked about last week, I would rather have a deeper connection with my cell phone and just scroll aimlessly than to be intimate with my partner. I've also heard women say, I just want to take care of my infant. I don't want anyone near here because this is a time, this is where I'm nursing my baby. Let's dive in deep and talk about that. Are you wrong? You are never wrong with how you feel. Because how you feel. But I will tell you, if you stay in that valley, it can can end in a demise that you don't want. It can end in a demise of your relationship, of the intimacy that you have with your partner that they need, that is just like breathing air and eating food. It's not that they're being carnivorous and just want to pounce on you because you are delicious looking. Maybe you are, and maybe you don't feel delicious. You do not feel like you are just all that in a bag of chips. Do people still say that? All right. So, whether you're pregnant, post-delivery, in perimenopause, we talked about perimenopause on Mondays. That is when you are in your late 20s and also rounding into your early to middle 50s. Perimenopause. Did you know the longest phase that you're in is post-menopause? That's when you stop having that menstrual cycle. That is the longest phase that you're ever in. But perimenopause, boy, does it feel like a bumpy ride, okay? And let's also talk about whether you're in full menopause. Okay, this conversation is totally for you. We haven't left anyone out. No one. No one's been left out. This is what we're going to talk about. And we're going to dive in deep, y'all. This is the second time we've had Frisky Friday conversation, and we get into the thick of it, okay? Now, I'm going to explain a lot of things. I'm going to go into detail about a lot of things because last Friday, when we dove in deep, there were some people who were like, okay, just need a bit more things explained, and that's fine. So, we're going to talk about what libido actually means and what it doesn't. The role of confidence and body awareness. What's happening hormonally? How to start reclaiming connection naturally. And how the Vibrant Woman Project can help you step fully into your confidence again. This is about you. This is what low libido really means, okay? When we say low libido, we're not just talking about a lack of interest in intimacy, okay? Libido is your body's natural spark, your desire for closeness, pleasure, and connection. Just put a spark in the chat. Just put a little, little wow or whatever in the chat if you're there. You could be in your late 50s and you're like, Stella has her groove back, let's go. But if you have a low libido, type the word down and then put a down arrow in there, okay? Nobody's here to judge a single person, okay? Now, you never know when you are so bold to be so brave to talk about what you're going through, you can help others. And I'm not asking you to be other therapist. I'm not asking you to empathize with others because that just takes you down a really weird rabbit hole. All right. So what I'm saying is put a wow in the chat if your libido is popping, if that spark is sparking, if that gloss is glossing, and put the down arrow. You can write the word down if you want to. If you're just like, girl, that's asking too much. Put the down arrow if it is like, womp, womp. Okay? All right. When that spark seems dim, put the word dim in the chat if that's something that you want to do. It's not about something being wrong with you. It's about your body and your emotions just trying to communicate. Sometimes it's a miss. Okay? Sometimes it is the target is just missed. Okay? So, here's what it may sound like in your daily life in your brain. Okay? I feel tired all the time. I want to, and I just don't. Okay? My body doesn't respond the way that it used to. As a nurse, I want you to understand this clearly. Libido is not just physical. Okay? It's influenced by your brain, like stress, anxiety, or emotional fatigue. It's influenced by your hormones, your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Those are your sex hormones. Okay? And I don't mean sex as in like this. I'm talking about gender, right? Gender hormones, okay? Your energy, sleep, nutrition, daily rhythms. We've talked about that for the last 2 weeks now, right? We go back and watch those videos and get reconnected, get reacquainted with those. They're less than like 30 minutes long. Most of them. Your connection, like your relationship connection. It's your trust, communication, your self-image. I've had some women say, just take a picture and whatever you feel great in, and just take a picture. Put that in your journal, file it away, and just when you are working and you are just starting, you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to. But trust me, you will want to know where you were coming from. Okay? Let's all stay hydrated. Low libido isn't a label. It's a signal. When I hear about women talking and speaking in social media platforms, it doesn't matter if it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, it does not matter. When I hear someone make a comment about low libido, I want to give them a hug and I want to say, please reach out to Self-Care University. Okay, reach out. I would love to help you. But instead, I mean, I do, but what I'm seeing in the chat is I am seeing so many different comments that don't even scratch the surface of what the person's really saying. And that is, we want to feel like we're not the only ones alone with libido, is what I wished that people said. I wish that people said, who else is struggling with low libido? They're not asking for you to toss a multi-level marketing product at them. They are not asking you to throw all your problems to them. Okay? What they are saying is just, does this happen to anyone else? And just say, I hear you. You should reach out to Self-Care University. Okay. She's a certified intimacy coach. And I have heard her speak and blah, 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 whatever you want to say. I will tell you, please don't give medical advice on social media. It can bite you in the tush. Yes, you being non-medical, giving someone medical advice about a treatment that you received from a provider that was a diagnosis that you had, and you are laying that onto someone as something that they should do. If you want to phrase it in a way, with my doctor, he prescribed me this, and I had this result. Great. Because what people want to hear is, oh, okay, so you had low libido, you met with a provider, and they did, and then now you did that. Great. Well, that's something that they can take and they can speak to their provider about. Because if you start saying, I went to Amazon and I got this, and then next thing you know, I am on fire. That's that is offering treatment, and it can bite you in the tush. What if that thing on Amazon had the ingredient of a carcinogen? Okay, and then next thing you know, now this person has cervical cancer, and it was like, I was just taking the advice of XYZ. That's very true. If you are in the medical field and you have a medical license, or you are certified and you are trained, you know this. If you've been through any of my certified coaching courses, you know that I say that this is not this is not for you to say and blurt out what you recommend to them, because that is practicing medicine. That is giving someone medical advice, and it can end up biting you in the tush, and you can lose your ability to practice with your license or your certification. Okay, so now going back, the low libido isn't a label, it's a signal. And the signal says, my body needs care, calm, and reconnection. It means that we need to have a conversation offline about what you're going through. What have you tried? Where are you at in the low libido? Is it dim? Is it just dark? Is it a little baby spark? I mean, is it sparking, but it just sparks every once in a while? Let's have a conversation about that. Okay? Now, let's take a second to reflect. Have you ever gone through a time where your desires felt different, or the disconnect from how you used to feel. Type a yes in the chat. You're like, that spark it sparks different. It takes something else to spark it. I have heard that too. Okay. Drop a heart a heart emoji, or write this in your journal. Okay. We've been talking about journals, that book, our brag book. It's our book where we share our deepest, darkest secrets. It's that Dear Diary moment. It is that some people have named their diary. Dear Tiffany, I am back today. We are going to talk about my low libido. Low libido is this lack of desire of not wanting connection. It can also mean that I'm not wanting intimacy. It can mean that I'm not wanting the things that I used to want. You know what I mean? That's a diary. The pages are blank. You write in it with a marker, pen, crayon, doesn't matter, right? I've actually seen people take snippets of like magazines. Excuse me, I always hiccup. I'm so sorry. And news articles, and you glue them or you tape them in your journal. Yeah. Okay. So please note there is no shame here. We're going to take a no shame break. Pause real quick. Okay, there you go. This is real womanhood, and we're here to understand it together. The information that I'm providing today, it is education, and you are to receive that how you want to receive that. Okay. Now we're going to be understanding confidence through this season. Okay. All right. So let's talk about which season you could be in, and let's just kind of dip our toes in it. Okay. Let's talk about confidence, because confidence and intimacy, they go hand in hand. Okay. When we don't feel confident in our bodies, our minds naturally pull away from connection. I'm going to tell you this quick story. I had this woman, and she just could not lose weight. She did not feel sexy. Her partner wanted her to wear lingerie because that was just desire. That was just such an appeal. And she didn't feel desirable because when she wore her lingerie, all the things that she felt that were just coming out, she was like, I just feel so gross. Okay. She wanted to lose weight, and she lost her first 5 pounds. And next thing you know, she dove head first into her lingerie. It's wild, right? Because it's wild in a great way. That was for her something great. That was something that she just wanted to lose like 5 pounds. She just wanted to feel just a little, her lingerie a little loose. She just wanted to just kind of have her bumps to be in the right place, and then she felt great. Newsflash for you ladies. Men, they don't mind it. That's not where they're looking. That's not where they're looking. They don't care about the rolls. They don't care. They don't care about the mini speed bumps. They don't care about the big speed bumps. They just are there to have a great time, and so should you be. Explore each other, have a great time, and enjoy those great moments of where you are able to communicate and connect. All right. Let's talk about confidence through the different seasons that you could be in. If you don't hear yours, just hang on a minute. You'll hear your season. Pregnancy. Oh my gosh, your body is so changing quickly. And while you're creating life, your hormones, they are shifting constantly, and your partner has no clue that that's what's happening, okay? You may feel tired, sore, bloated. Confidence here looks like grace. Understanding your body is doing something miraculous, okay? Gentle movement, rest, open communication with your partner goes a long way. And that open communication says, this is what I want you to do. This is what I don't want you to do. Great. They don't need to know why. They don't need to know how the cow ate the cabbage. They don't need to know the big long drawn out thing. Ooh, okay. Okay. Just not here. It's really sensitive today. Just not the thing that we usually do that way. Not today. But what I would like to try is this, because that's the way I feel comfortable with my belly. Great. We're talking. Postpartum. After delivery, oh, those hormone levels drop. What you had a surplus of, boom, goes down. Down like the fastest elevator, down like that fast roller coaster, the one that goes up like this, and it kind of goes, and then it goes whoosh, down like that. Okay? Especially your estrogen and your testosterone. Your progesterone still finding out which way you want it to go. The progesterone usually says, okay, we're going here. Oh, we're going down there. Okay? Now, sleep deprivation. Nobody feels sexy when they are sleep deprived. This is not the time to go, hey, you asleep? Oh, that's not the time. Who's getting up with the baby? Who's getting up with the baby? We are just, that's not the time to lay the baby down and then go, hey, I know that you got to sleep in a little. We're not doing that. Okay? Healing. The woman is healing. Okay? It doesn't matter if you've had a C-section or if you've had a vaginal birth. Those muscles are still trying to find their way to where they were. And it can be so detrimentally dangerous post-vaginal birth to have intimacy in that inner area. I'm not talking handsy. I'm not talking nothing. We do not want to increase blood flow. We need things to heal naturally. We need the muscles to contract and do their thing. Because when we're nursing, those muscles are going to contract and do their thing anyway. Okay? Okay. Now, and emotionally, that overwhelm that you just had this ginormous life event, okay, it can really make your libido almost disappear for a little bit. That's okay. Because everything has its season. It's not forever. Confidence means patience. Excuse me. Your body's recovering. Touch and connection, they start with hug. Oh, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're getting. You are getting a hug. You are getting a cuddle. You're getting a quiet moment of where it's just you two. That can be sometimes the most deepest connections. Okay? It's not just physical intimacy. I'm going to lump perimenopause and menopause together here because estrogen and testosterone, those naturally decline. Okay? Which can affect your vaginal dryness. This is for educational purposes. Okay? And arousal and mood. It can affect vaginal dryness, arousal, and mood. Okay? But this is also a time to reclaim that power, sister. It sure is. It is. Oh, confidence. Here means understanding your body again. It means learning how to support it naturally so the desire can reawaken. Okay? When you build confidence through knowledge, self-care, and honest conversations, your body begins to respond again. Because confidence isn't just about perfection, it's about peace. I had a conversation with a group of women the other day, and I was talking about when you get older, you just already know. Nothing fake here. We're having a conversation about this is what we want. Don't do that thing. That thing does nothing for us. It may do something for you. Okay, we're going to give you 60 seconds, but then we are going back to the thing that we need. That thing that we need. All right, so let's check in. What season do you feel like that you're in right now? Pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, postmenopause. Are you in your infertility era? Are you someone who says this is a really deep subject for me, and I wanted to have this? I want to have the desire, but I'm in IVF. I want to have the desire, but I've had 8 miscarriages. I want to have the desire because I want to have a baby so bad, but my partner doesn't. Oh, there's so many different things. Okay, now. I would love for you to drop in the comments how you're feeling. Write this in your journal, okay? Because we see a beauty in a variety of people's journeys, okay? There are so many journeys that are represented here. All right. Now let's talk about testing and holistic understanding. Let's talk about something many women never hear about. Testing and understanding your hormones. I know so many different women that said that they've had a blood test of their hormones. Oh, no. There are so many different things that can be missed. There are so many different markers that can be missed with blood tests. I do a complete Dutch test. I do that. That is what I've practiced with. That is only what I will practice with. I want to know everything. If I delivered you a book and I just gave you the beginning of the book, would you not want to know how the end of the book is? Or that doesn't serve you. It gives you a little bit of an insight, but it is not the entire story. A blood test for your hormones is not the entire story. It never will be, even scientifically, science-backed. That is not the entire story. And that's a hill I will die on. Okay? I'm telling you, the complete test is where it's at. I do that testing with my clients, and it has served them miraculously, because it has opened up a world that they're like, this explains so many things. Whether you have endometriosis, whether you have PCOS, whether you think you have endometriosis, and whether you think you have PCOS, whether you don't know if you're in perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, and you just want answers. Even if you are in postmenopause and you are still dealing with night sweats, that's still a test. It's still a test all day long that I would do, because I already know the one supplement that I would put you on, but that test would tell you. All right. When women come to me for a holistic health consultation, we do start by identifying where their hormone balance may be shifting. We do. Now, when a client is wanting to focus on weight loss, I do not pounce on that test first. I want to see what that client's body is doing in the first 2 weeks after I put them on a protocol that is for weight loss, if that is their desire. Okay? Why do I do that? Because estrogen is also in fat cells. Estrogen are everywhere. We have it in our gut lining. There are so many different places that we have estrogen. Now, whenever I talk to my clients during that consultation, the first thing that I don't do is pounce on that test. I want to know. I want to listen. I want to hear the laundry list. I want the details. You have a whole hour with me. I want to know, what do you want to talk about? Okay? Now, if hormone testing is what you are wanting, let's dive in. Let's have a conversation. I'm going to go over the deep dive. I'm going to tell you what that test is going to reveal. Why? Because I want you to know the end of the story. I want you to know what the end is going to look like, so that when we start and we have your conversation, whenever we come back and we have that visit after you've done your test, it makes sense now. It makes total sense. Okay. So we look at saliva for functional, or we also look at functional lab testing. They can show your estrogen and progesterone ratios. I'm looking at all DHEA. I'm looking at so many different things, right? I'm looking at testosterone levels. I'm looking at your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormones. I'm looking at, like, what's the thyroid doing? I'm looking at what blood sugar markers. Okay? This test is giving us clarity, and it helps us to stop guessing. All right. We're doing good on time. Then we look at lifestyle factors. Sleep and recovery, gut health, because the gut helps to recycle estrogen. Okay. Nutrition and protein intake. Protein is not protein. Protein, that's all you need. No, we talk about cruciferous vegetables. We talk about what is a cruciferous vegetable. We talk about why it's important to do cruciferous vegetables. Okay. Protein is needed, but we have an entire method that if you are wanting to have nutrition, protein is king. But what else is so close to protein? Stress response. We talk about relationship connection and emotional health. Okay. That entire hour, we talk about what you want to talk about. But trust me, if If I hear that it is crickets, if I hear that you're not coming to me with information, I am going to start providing information, because that's an hour that you paid for. And by golly, you are going to get you're going to get it squeezed. Okay. Because when we make our next appointment, we are going to make a next appointment, if you want, based on the next step. We are not going to have to still go over the first step. We are transitioning into, okay, we're losing weight now. Great. Okay, we have our libido back. Great. Now let's work on this. Okay, now we are working on fertility. Let's work on this. Okay. Oh, yes. Even if you are working on your detoxing off of birth control, we still have a conversation. I still do a check for your hormones at a specific time after you have detoxed off of your birth control. Okay. I want you to have a very successful pregnancy, and I don't want there to be there is a rise in this, or there is a low of that can really lead into a non-successful pregnancy. All right. This is how I help women understand their bodies, not from a place of symptom chasing, but from a place of support and balance. That's so key. Because when you understand your numbers and your patterns, you can support your libido naturally, okay? Through food, supplements, and movement and rest, and not just prescriptions. I hear of so many women that are put on, I'm going to say estradiol. Okay. How many women have you been put on an estradiol patch, but no one told you about there could be vaginal drying? Why? What happens when you have that? The tearing, what happens? Can that create scarring? Can that create that years down the line that we can have some desensitization? Why? Yes, I know many women that have still been on the estradiol patch. They're still on it, and they are suffering with their, it's so uncomfortable for intimacy. But there's a conversation over here where your doctor's getting their prescription out to you. The pharmacy is getting their prescription out to you, and they're not talking to you about those side effects. And they're not talking to you about board certified of OBGYN, which Lubidoob is better. There is, and it doesn't start with a K and it does not end with a Y. All right. So drop a little leaf in the comments if this makes sense. All right. If you've ever wondered what's really going on in your hormones, and I just really want you to know, this is how we start finding answers. Okay. Let's dive into the Vibrant Woman Project. This is a program where I have had the response of that journaling was so powerful. I've had the response of, I didn't even know to think about this. Right. Sometimes it has to be unearthed. Sometimes it has to be brought to the surface. And I will tell you, this 90 days of a program is, it is personalized coaching. It is phenomenal. You have 3 different ways that you can go through this. You can go through it with a group. You can go through this with just you. We call it self-paced. Or you can go through this alone, where you just get the program, you go through it, you're going through the modules, you're figuring things out because that's you. You'll make an appointment with me if you need anything. But I'm going to tell you, that middle one, the one whenever you go through it with me, whenever you book that appointment with me throughout the program, it's phenomenal. Okay, so now let's talk about what's inside it. What in the world do we focus on? Okay. Personalized hormone and lifestyle assessment. Understanding your unique patterns and where you may be in the hormone cycle. Perimenopause, menopause, postpartum, beyond. Okay. Nutrition for hormone balance. How to eat for your hormone type and your metabolism. Supplement strategies. We talk about natural and evidence-based options to support energy, mood, libido. Mind restoration. Nice, right? How to calm stress, how to improve sleep, and how to rebuild confidence. Relationship and self-intimacy coaching. Understanding what your body needs for connection and how to communicate that confidently. Okay? Faith-based encouragement. Because when we blend science, spirit, and self-care into everything we do here, it creates this really wonderful bundle, this really wonderful package. Now, when I say that the Vibrant Woman Project is its own package, it is its own 90-day program. It is not the holistic health consultation. It is not the hormone testing. These are different. There are times when they'll do the holistic health coaching. Okay. Then there's times that they will go into the hormone testing. And then there's times when they go into the wellness, weight loss, and gut detox program. There's times whenever they go from that, they go into the Vibrant Woman program because now their bodies are able to receive information. Great. So it's about helping women. The Vibrant Woman Project, it is very much about helping women to stop feeling stuck and to start feeling seen, balanced, and alive again. Okay. It's for the women who really say, I'm done feeling disconnected from myself. Okay. I'm ready to live vibrant again. This is the beautiful you that you know that is inside and just needs to have the shadow moved away and let you shine. Okay. So let me ask, does this sound like something that would benefit you or your friend now? Okay. I would love for you to drop the word vibrant in the chat. I'll send you more information on it. This is for the Vibrant Woman Project program. If you are someone who's like, I would love to go through this with 5 friends. Okay. You go through this with 5 friends and I would love to give you a phenomenal discount on that program. Drop the word group in the chat. Okay. And I'm going to need you to talk to me about your Fab 5. When you go through this with a group, you all have your own journey. You all have your own modules, but you have access to group conversation and it does get fun. It gets fun. It gets spicy. It gets, these are friends that you are like, I would do life with these friends. Okay. I would do this. Okay. So as we close on this Frisky Friday, I want to remind you of this. Confidence doesn't come from having everything perfect. Confidence comes from understanding your body and honoring it. Whether you're a mom, a wife, simply a woman, rediscovering herself. Your worth isn't measured by how your body looks or responds. It's measured by how you show up for yourself with grace and awareness. Low libido, hormone changes, or seasons of fatigue, they don't define you. They are simple signs that your body is just asking for care and not criticism. If today's message spoke to you, I invite you to take the next step. Book a holistic health consultation. You can go to selfcareuniversityok.com and let's find out where your body is, what it needs, and how I can help you feel vibrant again naturally. Okay, so I would love for you all to see me next Friday. I would love for you all to join me every single day for these lives. I would love for you to also go to my website and click on the Women's Wellness Journey. Okay. It is I believe it's on the 4th tab. Forgive me. I think it says something about boutique on there, and you would scroll up and it says Women's Wellness Journey. That is a free live that is done every first Tuesday of the month. Dive in there. I have a women's group. if that's something that you want information on too. I'm just offering you so many different things that I want you to pause and pray and think about. Rewatch this video if you need to. Frisky Friday, we dive right in and we have a really honest conversation about how we're doing. Let's not stay stuck, ladies. All right, we will talk soon.